𝗬𝗏 Taproom is the place to play indoor golf in Worcester. Featuring 5 bays with brand new 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗲 laser simulators and over 16,000 courses to choose from, including local courses, you're guaranteed to tee off comfortably on your favorite course any time of the year. 𝗬𝗏 Taproom also hosts indoor golf leagues year-round so you can grow as a player and have fun rain or shine. Great food, great drinks, and reasonable rates. Navigate to 𝗬𝗏taproom.com to book a bay today. Say hi to Todd, Doreen, and the rest of the staff. They'll be sure to take good care of you.
Great teams don't happen by chance. They're built on trust, teamwork, and people who show up when it matters. At Massive Staffing Solutions, we connect people with opportunity and businesses with reliable talent. And we're proud to support the local communities and organizations that bring people together. Massive Staffing Solutions. People first, community always.
No job is too big or too small for Worcester's best signage and display crew. Art Creative are experts in signage, banners, large format printing, vinyl lettering, and more. With work featured all over New England, they will understand your needs better than any competitor, guaranteed. If you're looking for a local business that truly cares about quality, Art Creative is here for you. Check out their Facebook page or visit them online at art-creative.com.
Steve Krikorian's trying to give him the yak. Hey, take some more. Take some more. Tire your arm out. Is there any mind games that you used to play against opponents?
Oh, I try to keep my head down. It comes more in cricket than it does in 01. 01, it's just you and the board. You got to be able to just zone everybody out. And it looks like he got 25 on that one. So Steve's going to look to better it to go first. And it looks outside, so I think Mike will have the throw in the odd sets here.
And good for Mike. I mean, that's one way to get into the head of your opponent right before the game starts. Bobby Holt saying, great job this weekend, fellas. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening along, Bobby. Nice to be able to see so many people back home rooting for us and supporting us. But again, USA Darts Production, they're doing a hell of a job, so go ahead and support them as well. And Mike Carignan getting things underway here with a very crucial third dart.
Yeah, finds it with that third one. Again, I've preached it all week one. Keep those darts straight. Straying into the 1s and 5s are what are killing people. Let your darts go straight. Let it fall into the triple. Steve, once he gets that throw in and nice and smooth, you can see how well it goes in. And that was seen in the second match against Joe. And it looks like a big 1-2-5 right off the bat. Yeah, going to start that scoring power.
That's a very solid start there for Steve Krikorian, who, did struggle in the opening week against Mark Rudge. I mean, both guys really just all over that triple 20 segment, not able to slot many darts inside. Mike Carignan trying to split the middle here. Finds that's a huge dart confidence-wise to find that dart there.
Yeah, and it's a scary dart to throw. When you have that dart underneath, you got a lot of blockage there, so he's able to slide it right between the flights, almost like a little shoot, and it worked right in there.
Yeah, and Steve Krikorian just outside. Looks like 2 outside there, so a little bit of a step back, a little bit of a breath. Wants to recalibrate the arm here for this dart. Goes high, so poor visit here for Steve Krikorian. Big opportunity for Mike Carignan to take further advantage of his hold of throw here and, rocket on ahead.
Yeah, and these triples are starting to add up that every time he finds one, whether it's first, second, or third dart, which it's been third dart both times for Mike, they're adding up, and you're starting to see a lead here, but, he drifts into the 1. Still has the lead, still has the advantage, but Steve with a chance here.
Yeah, it's early on in this game, but both guys, averaging already in the mid-70s here, so we're already off to a much better start than last week. Again, I feel like, is Mike Carignan throwing different darts? Do we have any intel on that?
I would have to check with him on break, because I don't know if he has swapped. That's just one of those that I haven't seen enough of his, close-up of his darts to know.
I think we're gonna have to ask him about that on the break, because for some reason I very much remember. So we just got some intel from Joe Ricard that he's throwing Josh Rock darts, so they are different darts.
Oh, okay.
So the hunch was correct.
Oh, there you go. You got the eagle eyes. I didn't even notice it.
Oh, buddy, I don't have eagle eyes. That's why I wear glasses.
That's why you wear glasses.
I am mechanically assisted on that part, my friend, but Steve Krikorian finding that beautiful first dart, wants to be able to follow the line here, chase Mike Carignan, who's already 80 points clear. Finds the big third. So a big 140 there from Steve Krikorian to catch back up. All on Mike now to keep this going.
And Mike's got to get at least a 60 just to be on a finish here. So again, got to keep it in the 20s, but that is a great first start, so he will be looking at a finish, barring a bounce out.
Oh, my
It looks like
goodness.
he snuck the second one in there. He's going to go right over the top. Oh, he does, but it looks like a 140. Oh, it's just a 100. Wow. Some real close starts, leaves the Shanghai finish, but Steve, up for the 161 here.
Yeah, it's a low percentage chance on this 161. Obviously, you want to have the 120 every day of the week instead of having to take this out. First start, again, he's not going to be able to take it out. Wants to just go downstairs now, find something big, finds that big triple 19. So a great way to salvage that visit 97. But Mike Carignan, I feel like this is in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, but he put all the pressure that he could. Now can Mike, under all the pressure, take out the 120, and that will ruin the bid, the wide dart to a 115. So Steve Krikorian coming back for this 64. All he can do is lay up right now. 25 scored, and only 45 scored, so not even a ton of pressure. Still only a 2-dart finish, but
64 is a pretty nice 2-dart finish, though. So again, I feel like this is all on Steve now. Needs to keep his nerves nice and calm. Get the job done. Up to double 20. Goes low, so going around. Did not like the line of that dart. Going downstairs now to double 10. Can he find it? And he pulls it inside, so leaving opportunity for I would say a pretty good looking Mike Carignan here to clean this leg up.
yeah, misses the chance at a break of throw. So Mike to save the leg and save his throw, the also important throw. And he finds the triple 17 with the first dart to leave double 12. Can he find it? And he goes outside with the first dart. He's going to try to work it in. And he goes well high. The nerves, the pressure. You could see how tense those throws were. So Steve, glad to be coming back for this 10.
Yeah, and I mean, critically, that was to defend his throw here. So Steve looking for the very important break, but double 5 can get very tricky very fast. No messing about, though. Finds it with that first dart. So Steve Krikorian, finding the opening break against Mike Carignan, who was shooting pretty well, but just double trouble. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, just missed it. And he found that trip 17 with the first dart. I was almost certain that 12 was going to go. But Steve right back into the triples. Going to look to hold his throw, and 100 scored is pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to open up any leg. I mean, I think you can talk about anybody shooting 100 in the first 3 darts. Not bad. I'll take it. Especially when you're like me and you open with 26s all day of the week. Mike Carignan looking to put another dart in there. Let's see if he can. Goes high as well. So 100 to follow the 100. Both guys nice and steady. I feel like this is going to be a pretty even game.
Yeah, it's been so far. It's really come down to who's hit the double, and Steve has really found the double. So Steve, can he keep the scoring up? His scoring was pretty solid besides the 1 or 2 rounds where he drifted into that 5. But all 3 darts straight, 60. He'll shake his head, but a solid score.
You know, one of the interesting things that, and this is all hardware, stuff when it comes to the darts, the flights. One of the things that I was very interested in and kind of surprised to see as Mike Carignan finds that first triple 20, wants to follow it, finds 2 in there. Are we going to see the big 180 from Mike Carignan? No, didn't like the line, so he goes down to that 19, but still a great visit. One of the things that I was very surprised to see is how popular the tri-fin Condor flights were with soft tip.
Yeah, there was a lot of tri-fin ones that I don't normally. I don't see a lot of the tri-fin darts, and we've got Will Stewart giving a little shout out to Marty and his call at the Booyah Cup with Booyah. That sucked.
It's an iconic call from an iconic tournament. It truly was a lot of fun. I saw that Crystal had posted that on her Facebook, that I had read her mind, but I mean, Booyah, that sucks. What else can you say in that moment? Shout out to you guys for being such kind and gracious hosts to us that entire time. It was a lot of fun.
Throwing the newbies under the bus.
Well, they have to, man. They have to. Mike Carignan, getting back to the game here. Mike Carignan finding 1 triple 20.
Needs to go to the 18s now to leave a finish.
Yeah, I agree. But he's doing the math, though. I like the pause. A lot of players don't have that pause. They just rush it. And what a beautiful dart there from Mike Carignan.
1-3-4 from Mike. And as I said, he needed at least an 18. A fat 18 would have left the 1-6-4. But will do better to leave 128. Will be first to a finish. But now, also, crucially, has to start on 18s again.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, especially if Steve Krikorian. I mean, it really is all dependent on if Steve Krikorian can get down to a finish here. Steve Krikorian can take out those high ton plus checks. Can't find anything significant, so 60 will leave 181. So now Mike Carignan, some options here.
You probably just go trip 20 at this point. You don't need to even flirt with a 1-2-8 finish just because of how awkward the setup is. You can just go with your classic trip 20 because if you hit 2 of them.
Oh, he goes the trip 18 route.
Finds it. Another one here. He will look to find another one to leave double. Oh, he moves over actually.
And that might be the options there.
He's still going to be in a fine spot. He's just got to lay himself up as he leave. That's a 54, and that's what, 68 scored?
Yeah, normally I'm not the math
78
guy.
scored,
So.
yeah, 78 scored. An interesting route to leave 50. So the thinking with 1-2-8 is trip 18 leaves double 10 because he 108 leaves the double 10, leaves 20. So I don't know what his thought process was moving over. Steve just going to look to lay this up and put as much pressure on this 50.
Oh, checking. Just right on the edge right there. It's trip 5.
I can't tell if that's a trip 5 or a trip 20. That is sitting about as close to the wire as possible. I would think if he's staying up there, it's got to be a trip 5 because I don't think you're risking throwing a 140.
Yeah, indeed it was. So Mike Carignan now, after a curious little expedition that he took on the previous visit, looking to clean this up, but he's under threat. He's under fire here from Steve Krikorian, so can't afford to mess about. Going the 10 route up to tops. 2 darts in hand. Can he find it? Gets it done with the 2 darts. So, you know what? Last season, I would say that Mike was kind of struggling a little bit, kind of hovering around the mid-60s averages for most of the season. This is an inspired first round performance on stream for Mike Carignan, who's at 83 right now. That's a great game.
Finding the scoring and finding the doubles, crucially. The 1-2 combo right there. Not even having to take his 3rd dart at it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I know a lot of players are really enjoying these Josh Rock darts, but I think Rudge was throwing them last week as well.
Rudge is currently throwing the Josh Rock darts. He swapped over before the season started.
Hashtag not sponsored by Target, but if there is a crate of Josh Rock darts that happened to float its way over to the Worcester Premier League, I'm sure a lot of players would probably, really enjoy them or take them as a second set.
And crucially, that was the break of throw back. So Steve unable to consolidate the break of throw. And now,
back on throw.
We're back to where we started, in the advantage of Mike, who starts off the leg even better with a 100.
Yeah, and Steve Krikorian showing a little bit of cracking there under pressure, not getting off to the greatest of starts here. Mike, and I bet you he's going to split the middle here. Oh, of course, Caster's curse, but he's not far away from that red bit, and that's got to be just, again, confidence building, knowing that if you are going to miss, you're going to have a pretty miss.
And yeah, Steve doesn't have too many turns like that, so he'll look to bounce back here. Finds that triple with the first dart. He is able to bounce back. Did he find the second one? It looks like it's sitting in there, and he clicks just high. It looks like a 140, and that's the way to bounce back from one of those turns.
Yeah, that's a great visit there from Steve Krikorian to get himself back in this leg. Getting a little bit of respect there from Mike Carignan. Booyah 2026 says, sounding good, tuning in for the first time tonight. I think that's Jeremy Byrne, our good friend, who is also putting up with our shenanigans over there in Wisconsin. Jeremy, for tuning in, man. Thank you for hosting us. Fantastic. And Mike Carignan looking to go for the 180 here. Oh, no, only able to find the 140. When are we going to see one, man?
Oh, it's coming. With that many 140, this is how we were last night. Last night, through the first 2 or 3 matches, it was all 140s. It was 140 after 140. Just clicking the wire on the last one. Steve's right back in.
Here we go again. He's going to find, only one in there, so no 180 bid here, but the scoring has been plenty for both guys in this leg. Finds the big 125, but still a great visit. And again, both guys in the high to mid 80s here.
Yeah, both guys scoring incredibly well. Will the doubles follow? As of now, the doubles are going pretty well.
Yeah. So Mike Carignan now just looking to keep it steady. Again, it can be kind of sketchy when the scoring goes great. You can kind of get into this groove and not think about your throw quite as much as you should. Unfortunately, walks away there from that visit with a 45, so the door is open now for Steve Krikorian to leave himself quite a handy finish. Mike marooned out, well, not marooned, but 156, low percentage shot.
Yeah, Steve's going to want at least a ton here to put himself at a pretty reasonable out. Got to find a triple here, though. Can he put it in? He goes just low. 148 is still obviously a finish, but he'll want to be lower than that, especially with the first dart being a nice marker like that was.
Yeah, but Mike with the arguably easier check now because he can put those first 2 darts in the same spot if he finds it. Won't get it done here with that first start, so now just looking to knock the score down. 140 would be incredibly serviceable here. Should stay there if he wants to leave double eight, but taking his time.
Yep, 76 remaining here.
Looks like he's getting just trying to get around that flight that's in the way. His darts are landing quite flat, so not able to find it, but the big ton there, that's a very serviceable visit.
And I wonder which way Steve's going to go here. I like the trip 18 tops. That's my personal route to it. I don't know which way. A lot of people will just stay on the trip 20s because they hit it so often. But no finish here for Steve after that. But he will knock it down. So now, with 80 scored, 68 left, will stay there. 100 scored. So look at the scoring and the pressure being put by both of these guys.
Yeah, this is great darts from both guys. 56 remaining now from Mike Carignan. Doesn't want to get messy here. Wants to keep it steady. We'll have to see which way he goes, 20 or 16. I imagine he's going to go 16. Finds that big segment. Looking back at double 20 now. Goes high, so needs to keep it steady here. Find that segment. Oh, and he goes high, so walked it down a little bit, but not enough. And Steve Krikorian, an opportunity here to break again.
Like I said, the doubles are what's going to decide this game because they're both scoring equally well. One person answers with finds the 140, the other answers with the 140, and that's what we're seeing. That might be a tough dart.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
He's going to have to go over the top for this double eight. And he's not able to find it. That first dart was brutal. It was too close to the double, and it made it so he had nowhere to put it unless he wanted to go real low and risk throwing into that double seven.
Yeah, and you could see on the reaction from Steve after that third dart was thrown. He knew it. Shaking his head here. Mike Carignan, another crack at this double 20. Finds it, pins it with that first dart. So a clinical take on that visit, finding that double 20. Mike Carignan, I want to say a very crucial hold of throw here in this opening set. Again, break, hold. Steve Krikorian now under a lot of pressure to not lose this leg here. Has to hold throw.
Yeah, Mike's going to have two chances to win this set here. And Steve is not off to the start that he wants. Got to correct it. Does look like he corrects it with that trip 20. Can he keep the third one straight? 83 will do. He'll be happy that he walked away with an 83 after a trip 1 with the first start.
Again, I'll say it again from the guy who hits nothing but 26s every time. I will take an 80. I'll take anything above 26 if I can get it. Mike Carignan, throw has been looking a lot better. If for everybody who is tuning in, for season 4 and didn't get the chance to watch any of season 3, Carignan was going through some self-described, just troubles with the darts. Finds the nice opening ton there, but really took a step back. I think he plays for the 𝗬𝗀𝗍𝗀 team that actually won the state champs. Is that correct?
No, he plays out of the Framingham Eagles, I believe.
Correct. That's
with
correct.
Kirsten Dahl. If they still, I don't know if that team is still together. I'd have to look into that. But no, he does not play on the 𝗬𝗀𝗍𝗀 team. Nice. But he is around Route 9. Big ton for Steve there. Going to maintain his lead. Going to try to hold his throw.
Ron Sargent in the chat says he wants some 90-plus averages tonight, men. Ron, if you hold on long enough, we probably are going to see some 90 averages from these guys. Things have been ramping up. Bobby Holt saying, I remember that, Marty, when we play Thursday. Bobby, not going to say anything. I'm just there to play my darts. Again, 26s for days.
He doesn't want to jinx himself.
No, of course not. Getting back to the game here, Steve Krikorian working with 318, lining up here. So already in a slightly advantageous position, that first start, finding the trip 20. Great marker. Might be able to find another one in there. Can't do it, but again, we've seen some fantastic scoring from these guys. And I guess mindset-wise, if your scoring is there, how good does that feel?
Yeah, the scoring is obviously like, if you can get yourself more opportunities, it's going to feel really good. But your scoring doesn't mean anything if you're not hitting your finishes. It feels real awful when you're averaging a first 9 of over 90, and then you can't hit an out, and it drops your average all the way to a 70. It can be demoralizing because you're like, I could be winning these legs, and I should be winning these legs, but I'm missing all my outs.
Yeah, and these guys doing a rather respectable job on the outer ring of the board here. Not the best visit. One dart did slip over to the one segment for Mike Carignan, I believe the trip 1. So Steve Krikorian now starting to build off of these darts. I'll put together a little bit of a lead, but darts like that are going to self-sabotage. I like this. I like the step back.
Yep.
That dart, again, he knows that he wants to get down to a finish here if he has the opportunity to do so. I like the reset. Can't find the big segment well away from that trip 19. 44. Again, it's not enough to get down to an out here, but a decent visit. Mike Carignan, 2 triples. Good spot.
Even technically 1 triple, just going to have to be aware that he's got to go to the 19s after the first start if he doesn't trip it. Oh, and that's going to be real tough. Now he definitely needs 2 trips to even. He goes downstairs, finds 1. Will he stay there? And he goes just high, so an 81 there. It's not going to leave a finish, but it's going to knock it close.
Yeah, and I feel like this part of the game now is going to start to get a little nervy. Again, just keeping it steady here as we start to put ourselves within range. Just how well can you keep your nerves together?
Yeah, keep the adrenaline down because adrenaline can kill you. When you're doing that well, you suddenly are like, I have to keep performing. I have to keep performing. And that last dart doesn't feel good, but it's going to put him on a respectable finish here. Something that we know he can take out for sure.
Yeah, a monkey wrench in the machine gets tossed in. Makes the way a little bit more complicated for Steve Krikorian. 97, though, not the worst thing to have left over. Mike Carignan, again, finds that big 20. Finds that big second dart, so needs another one if he wants serious pressure. Can only find the ton, but 82-93 tap on the shoulder saying, Steve, do not miss this visit.
Yeah, both of these visits are probably equally difficult, but a 2-dart visit for Steve on a double 18 that he likes. But now he's going to go 74, should look trip 14 or trip 18, looks for it. So 20 to leave tops here is going to leave it clean. So Mike, got to take this out, win the leg.
Yeah, and this should be a bullseye first here from Mike Carignan. That is the way to do it, especially for these guys, knowing that there's not much room to play with here. Steve's waiting with that double 20. Finds the bullseye, I think. Going down to double 16. Oh, needs to walk it in. Can't afford to miss here. Oh, no! Mike Carignan, after finding that first dart, not able to convert with the second or third. Steve Krikorian saying, whew, but now he has to find it here, cannot afford to miss.
Yeah, he's going to be wiping the sweat off of his brow after that, thinking, oh, man, I'm actually getting a dart at this double 20, and he takes it, first dart, forces the deciding leg in the first set.
𝗬𝗏180 says, high quality first set. Indeed it is, 𝗬𝗏. Indeed it is. And we are going all the way in this first set. Mike Carignan looking to hold throw. Again, this should be his set. He did win the bull. But again, he has to get it done, has to show Steve the business. Getting it done here with that first dart. Is there even space to get around it?
He's got to go lower, and a lot of people will go downstairs after that first dart just because of something like that, where it'll kick into the trip 1.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I agree with that second and third dart. Again, he's throwing new darts, those Josh Rock darts, and they are landing particularly flat for Mike Carignan. So maybe he should have gone down where there was more open space. Steve Krikorian finding that first trip 20, finds the trip 1, but in great company. I'm not sure where that third one
Looks like he stuck it in there. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And so look at the battle between these guys, both picking up some big scores. It's just who's going to buckle first. And like I said, it's going to come down to these outs. These outs have been the killer.
Yeah, and if you're Mike Carignan here, you don't want to let Steve get away to too big of an advantage. Wants to keep these darts straight. There should be space to get over. Oh, my God. The placement on these darts has just been fantastic from Carignan. I'm really liking this. Of course, as soon as I say that, third one goes outside. But the ability for him to place those darts when there's a semi, blocker in the way, that's a pivotal skill that a lot of people don't really practice enough is shooting over blocks. Steve Krikorian, ooh, not a beautiful first dart. I think that's outside as well.
That one might have snuck in that bet to the right side, so I think he's got an 83 there.
We'll see.
It's either an 83 or a 38, and it's a 38. You were right. It snuck over to that trip 5. So advantage is still with Mike. We're basically at a level game, and it's Mike's throw.
Yeah, and Mike does not want to let Steve start to creep back into this game now. This is a tricky dart. What does he do here? Looks like he's staying upstairs. This is tricky. Man, I would think about moving down at the but again, this is why I'm behind the microphone and Carignan's playing over there.
So he throws a very flat dart that he likes, like a Ryan Joyce, Phil Taylor, that although it's not obviously a dart shaped like theirs, he likes to stack on top of those flat ones as we've seen. But Steve, first dart trip 20, second dart in the trip 5. So just going to look to keep it close. Yeah, 95 is going to keep it close.
Yeah, he's chasing, but he's not leapfrogging. He's not getting ahead. Mike Carignan just getting those constant taps on the shoulder saying, don't break, don't break, don't break. I'm right here. So again, how good is your resolve, Mike Carignan? First, oh my God, it's so beautiful, that first start. Needs to keep the line, though. Now, I mean, you have to think about moving now, right?
Nope, tries to go straight, gets kicked into the 5. And crucially, leaves the 152, though.
Yeah, and the 152, again, you got to stay there if you find that first opening trip 20. Krikorian 245. What can he get done here with these darts?
Needs a treble. Because not even a bowl will suffice here. So he needs to find the trip right in the middle. Doesn't quite find it, and he knows it. So 6 darts for Mike to take out this 152.
Yeah, that is a huge, huge breath of relief there from Mike Carignan. Can't afford to mess about here. He's going to have 6 darts, but needs to at least get close. If he can't get it done here, he's not going to be able to clean it up. So just wants to find some quality darts, no straying left or right. Needs to keep him straight at the very minimum. Finds that 60, drops his score down to 92. Still not as close as he would have wanted, but Krikorian marooned 185.
Yeah, so Steve might go down to the 19s or stay 20s. If you go 19s, a 133 leaves you 52, but he's already right into that trip 20, proving me wrong. Finds it again, so he has 65 left, should go bull. And he will to leave 40. What a visit from Steve to put the pressure on.
Yeah, that's a beautiful setup. And again, it's just another tap on the shoulder, but this time with some serious force. Mike Carignan, this is basically the set here. Needs to take the 92, eyeballing it, lining it up. So 72 remaining now. Trip 12, you feel, is going to be the way to go here. I don't think he finds it. I think it's in the 5 segment.
Yes, it is. And so Steve's coming back for this 40 after a crazy 1-4-5 visit.
So what does that leave? 6-7? I think it leaves 6-7. Finds the beautiful third dart to leave himself 16. But Steve Krikorian, again, you feel like this might be done and dusted here.
This has to go for Steve because now Mike's sitting there with a 16 saying, hey, you better take this out. But Steve should feel real good having the momentum of hitting that 1-4-5. 1 dart right in the middle of the double 20. First set goes to Steve.
Wow, and what a game. What an opening set here between both of these guys.
𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗎 Darts is the name in darts for Central Massachusetts and beyond. From dart sets and boards, accessories and apparel, to luck of the draws and events, 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗎 Darts does it all to support the community they truly understand and love. Trusted by everyone, from players just starting out to state league champions, if you need to stock up on supplies or are just looking for a good time, look no further than 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗎 Darts. Be sure to follow them on Facebook to stay up to date and tell them the WPL sent you.
Days End Tavern is Oxford's hometown sports bar, always serving up great times, great drinks, and great vibes. Always open for the biggest games. Come for the people, stay for the dart leagues, pool leagues, trivia nights, live music, and so much more going on every week. Come as friends, leave as family. How every hometown bar should be. Head on down to Days End Tavern in Oxford today. Since 2014, U.S. Sports and Apparel has been helping teams, companies, and organizations look their best. Their catalog runs deep, including custom team uniforms, embroidered corporate wear, spirit wear, and promotional items. If you want it branded, they have the tools and the people to get the job done right. So if you're looking for unmatched quality, customer service, and quick turnaround time on your project, head down to Marlboro or give U.S. Sports and Apparel a call. Again, if you're looking for gear that works as hard as you do, trust in U.S. Sports and Apparel to get the job done right.
Right just above 80 average for both gentlemen, all smiles. Mike Carignan had the opportunity, had the look, but I mean, that's the level that we're playing at here at the Worcester Premier League. I mean, if you miss your chance at just under 100, you're not going to win the leg.
Yeah, no, anything under 100, you got to at least have a dart at a double for. Does find the double with his or the triple with his third dart, but it's surprising move from Steve there. We haven't seen him move all game.
These
now
guys are
decides
just
to make
stubborn.
the move.
They're just stubborn. They just want to hammer 20s. The rest of the board doesn't exist. They just want to just hit the outer ring only when it counts, really. But Mike Carignan looking to try and find a triple, and you know this is going to be tricky waters to navigate here for Mike Carignan. Again, that was supposed to be his set to win. Previous set, Steve Krikorian's stealing it away from him. So just mental game, staying in it, staying confident, not letting the previous leg really get too far into your brain. Krikorian trying to find a triple of his own. Look at that nice deflection to ramp up in there.
Yeah, and if you haven't noticed, Steve does throw a very flat dart as well. Those tri-fins, and then he throws a relatively light dart, so they tend to go. He throws them hard, so they tend to just lay right in there. And he's gotten good about like working around his own darts.
I believe Steve is the only player in the Worcester Premier League that actually throws a soft tip dart. Is that correct?
Yeah, because it was me, and then I did not play anymore, so now I don't play the, I don't throw the soft tip, so that would be, he basically replaced me as the soft tip thrower in the league.
So again, only one soft tip thrower in the league allowed, I guess. I mean, you can only put up with one of them.
Yeah, one quota.
Steve Krikorian looking to fill the bet up with those two, finds the 140 again. No 180 so far in this game, but the ton 40s have been here. They've been making themselves known. Mike Carignan now working with 400, pretty far back.
Yeah, Steve running away with this leg. Leaves a bogey number. Well, with his opponent on 400, he doesn't care. He just wants to keep pounding it, knock that score down. Don't give your opponent a chance, but he is able to slip a trip 20 in there. Man. But still, 319 to 169, you're not in the best spot.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, again, this is Steve Krikorian's throw here, so not the biggest loss in the world if Carignan doesn't get it done here. You could just see the spirits are still high, though. Finds it triple, goes, yeah, I did it. Booyah, that sucked, you know.
But crucially, the thing you got to think about is, yeah, it's not a break. Like, this is a hold of throw for Steve, so Mike might not be thinking, oh, it's not a big deal. But it kind of is when you would need to find a break of throw in this set because it's not your set anymore. After losing the first one, he can't afford to lose this set, really. Like,
yeah, and I mean, again, Mike Carrigan's a pretty smooth operator. He's steady. He doesn't really get rattled too easily, so mental confidence, I'm not really worried about that for Mike Carignan, just something he has to be aware of. And we all have those legs sometimes when the darts just refuse to go. You throw them well, they just don't find their way home.
Absolutely. No one can throw perfect darts the entire time. Even the best throw some questionable darts at some times. That's just how it works. Nobody's a robot here. But Steve gonna look to take out this 93. And he's in the same spot, trip 14. And he'll go to 20 to leave double 20. And a clean setup shot with his opponent sitting on 273. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and those darts looked very, very routine there for Steve Krikorian. Again, your opponent's all the way back on 273. No real pressure coming with that first dart in the one. Carignan giving himself the business there, a little telling off. Just not finding much of anything here. So Steve Krikorian going to be walking up to the line here, knowing, okay, as long as I just do my part, this is a done, dusted leg going to the ledger books for me.
And you can see the difference in this, like, the scoring has fallen off for Mike.
Yeah.
Steve has kept up his scoring, and his approach shots have been great, leaving him plenty of darts at tops here. Right in there. A great setup. Just a clean first dart as a marker, and then just drops it right in to take the first leg.
Yeah, Steve Krikorian not dropping off in the average department, in the scoring department, in the doubling department, playing that consistent game. Again, that's arguably, I would say, harder to do over the long run. I mean, we're not playing the longest format here at the WPL. Again, it's a race to two sets, excuse me. But even those two sets, you're still playing a pretty decent amount of legs. Keeping a consistent game is incredibly tough.
Well, and we're seeing how different the first set was from the second set. Steve, ever since the first leg, has been on point with his doubles. Yeah. He hasn't really been missing. And that first leg, he had a little bit of trouble, gave it to Mike, but now he's back, and he's setting himself up great, he's scoring great, and he's hitting the doubles. And he's just sliding wide on that dart. Uncharacteristic miss wide. He's been so good scoring this match that a little weird to see him drift into the trip 5 like that.
I feel like it might have hit the flight. Again, throwing those soft tipper darts, the deflections can be quite nasty, pushing those darts around as they try to make their way towards the board. Mike Carignan here, not too far back, wants to try and pick up the scoring here, goes downstairs, just saying, forget it, I'm done with the 20s. Our relationship is over. Trip 19 is my new best friend. And I see. That's another thing that we also didn't see from Mike Carignan last set is the switching. He's starting to follow suit with the switching, and that benefits him with just some big numbers being hit.
Yeah, it takes away the blocking dart that you're looking for, and it just gives you a fresh frame of mind. So him going to the 19s is just kind of like a mental reset. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes right back to trip 20s on this next visit. But Steve, now finding some stray darts and an 11 is not what he wants. You can see the scowl on his face after that one. And he knows.
Yeah, I mean, he knows. And that's one of those moments if you're Mike Carignan going, hello, an opportunity.
The thing is, if you're Steve right now, this is a leg you can afford to lose. This is not your throw. You have the advantage of throw in the set. You can afford to have a bad leg. This is the leg you want to have it on. Don't have it on the one that you're defending your throw.
I like that switch down to the 19s again. Not able to convert on anything mega, but Again, it's... Oh, did he actually find a trip 19?
No,
no.
trip 3 for 9.
Yeah, but I like that switch. The first start at the 20s did not work well. He just said, I don't even know why I bothered. I'm going back down to my home on those 19s. Not able to convert. Krikorian looking to just be steady here. Didn't have a great visit last time at the board. Going downstairs, it looks like. And again, looks like there's some struggling going on those 19s.
Yeah, and it tends to happen. I mean, anyone's going to start to find like some inconsistencies in their throw, and especially Steve throwing the light darts. The inconsistencies tend to show a lot more.
Do you believe genuinely that the lighter darts that you throw make it harder to move around the board, or is that just all the players?
I think a lighter dart you can be more precise with, but if you're not incredibly confident with your throw and consistent with your mechanics, it's going to show with those really feather light darts because it doesn't take as much force to move them. So if you're off by a little, you're off by a lot.
Yeah, and that's something that we are seeing just a little bit here from Steve Krikorian, who's able to find a decent visit here. But Mike Carignan now with the advantage, holding his throw. Steve, again, started this leg well above 84, has now dipped below 80 into the 70, well, just by 0.01. But still a little bit of a drop off here from Steve K. Carignan looking to try, well, these are not the darts to try and get himself back into this game. Not able to find anything, so 22, not going to be the greatest visit. Opportunity now for Steve K to leapfrog him.
Yeah, Steve's back in this leg now. Only down about 60 points, 58 to be exact. And all he's got to do is just keep straight. Keep doing what he's doing, and he finds it. Eventually, they drop in if you just keep them straight. And as I say that, he kicks one wide.
And I feel like that just might be chasing the previous dart just a little too much instead of keeping every throw rhythmic, every throw steady. It's going to be a blocker dart there from Carignan as he looks to try and get around it. Or
just low.
Looks like he's going to stay on it, looks like. Can't find it, so you saw that kicking action there from the flight, so rejecting that dart from finding its way into the green bit. That's one of the risks. That's one of the risks that you run when you go high on those 19s. You're just not able to get around.
I don't know. There was a missed punch there. That was definitely 57, not 54. I don't know if either of the guys caught it, but Steve definitely going to go bowl here. Try to leave the 170. And he goes way off, and you can see he knows he was well off on that one. Because that was, yeah.
A little bit of a miscount there. I mean, at least you know that he's not cheating, because, I mean, he's put himself back a couple of points here. It happens all the time. Again, you're talking to the guy who doesn't know math at all here. So, Carignan working with 208 is just on his first start, so that's already done and dusted. Looking to try and split the difference here. Can't find that dart in the middle. Can only find a ton. So Steve Krikorian now, I feel like 3 trip 19s, leaving yourselves 8 is the way to go.
And we'll see what he decides to do. And he finds a 5 with the first dart. So now it's just get yourself to a finish. There you go. Finding that trip 20 is going to put him in a more desirable spot. See where he decides to go. He does go.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So a little 119 there. Leaves himself 60. Just a great visit from Steve. Some great setup shots.
That's a beautiful switch there from Steve Krikorian. And now, both guys again. This is what I love about the Worcester Premier League so much. These guys are fierce competitors, but again, they have that opportunity to joke, to laugh, have a good time when they're throwing darts. 148 remaining. It's not going to go this time for Mike Carignan, who's just looking to knock it down. Wants a ton. If he can leave 48, that would be great. Can't find it, so can only leave himself 88. I don't feel like Steve Krikorian's going to be threatened by that at all.
No, and you can see a little bit of just inconsistency in timing of Mike's throw as he's keeping them mostly straight, but a 5, so he'll go 15, and he'll have 1 dart at tops. And we'll see if he can sneak this one in there, and he's just high, so Mike with a chance here should start on the 20s.
And this is for the hold. He cannot afford to be broken here in this set. I mean, it's not his set. His set is against the throw. So he needs to hold no matter what. Can't afford to go 2 down against Steve here.
And he'll go with a 20, so he needs to go 18. Look for the bow. And he doesn't find the fat 18, so that's going to be the chance that he had. Steve's going to come back to go 2-0 in this set.
You could see the little, I don't want to say fake frustration there from Mike Carignan, but a little bit of a look at the board going, bad dart, boo, bad dart. 32 punched in there from Carignan. Steve Krikorian now, again, lining up his shot, knows what he has to get done here, has hit it plenty of times before in this game. How many darts is he going to need? Only one, so finds that double 20 with the first dart, cleans out that leg in, well, rather efficient fashion there. And Mike Carignan up against the ropes.
Yeah, and if you've seen this game, if you've given Steve 3 darts out of double, he's hit it this game.
Yeah.
He's been pretty close to visit perfect on doubles, and he's right back in there with a trip 20. The scoring to back up his doubling has just been there. He's been the better player today.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, Carignan came out and played a phenomenal opening set, went all the way down to the wire, but running the risk here of going down 3 legs to nothing here in this second set. Carignan struggling to find a dart in that red bit, wants to try and lock in, can't find it, 45 found, so massive drop-off in the scoring department here for Mike. Steve just looking to keep on cruising towards a finish here.
Yeah, that's been the difference in this set, has been the scoring. The doubling opportunities are there for Steve, and he's taking them just because of this. Stuff like this, can't tell that's a 40.
Go. And see,
It is only a 40.
This always happens in these legs where you think that, okay, maybe I'm just going to go on autopilot mode, and then a poor visit snaps you back to reality, really. I mean, you know a bunch about that, about rapping Eminem all the time and whatnot. And there's the ton 40 from Mike Carignan.
Just enough to put the pressure on Steve, but Steve's still going to be calm, cool, collected in this position. Not going to really feel that big of a threat with how consistently he's been able to find the 20s. But he is still starting to drift a little bit. Like you said, that autopilot, a little bit of lack of focus.
Ooh.
And he moves to try to refocus himself. I like that move.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, if you become too lackadaisical, or how do you say that?
Lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical. Okay. English is pretty hard to speak sometimes.
You know, I was only born speaking this language.
Yeah, I was too, okay. But, you know, again, if you become a little too lazy, again, you can get pretty far behind in pretty quick succession here. So Steve Krikorian needs to snap back, find some triples, does so with that opening dart. I think that might be 2 in there. Looks like he's going for it. And that might be a ton 40 on the board there, folks. It is. So 2 visits, not the best. Snaps back, not in range, but the 177, a lot of pressure on Mike.
Well, and that's the thing. Steve's bad turns have been much less frequent than Mike's have been. And that's been the thing, where Steve has had a turn or 2 bad and then kicked right back and found those tons, found the trip 20 with his first dart. And that's a confidence builder. And another tough visit.
Do you think that was the right move there? 80 on 264, why not go for the 18s?
I didn't see what he had left on the visit.
I think it was 80. I think it was 80, so 184? Leave 130, babyfish?
Yeah, but he would need, I mean, regardless, he was going to need more than 1 triple, and he walked away with only 30 scored. So.
Oh, he didn't find a triple there?
No.
Oh. See, my eyes don't work.
30 scored for Mike Flyer. So Steve going to leave himself 78. A nice little 2-dart finish to an easy 3-dart finish if he can't find the triple the first dart. All Mike can do is try to put pressure, and he's not going to get himself to a finish here. So Steve's going to have 6 darts to take out this 78, which the way he's been finishing and approaching, you think he's going to do.
Yeah, looks like the Grim Reaper is starting to make his presence known as Steve lines up this shot, finds the opening first dart. So double 12 remaining to lock down this set. Gets it done in 2. Steve Krikorian getting the job done. 80.42 average against Mike, 70.51. Phenomenal opening set from both guys. Steve stealing that one away from Mike and moving on to the next round.
𝗬𝗏 Taproom is the hub of darts in central Massachusetts. With close to 30 dartboards to play on and the biggest Friday luck of the draw around, you're guaranteed to see some friends or make some new ones every time you stop in. Additionally, 𝗬𝗏 Taproom hosts many Worcester Dart League and Minuteman Dart League teams in all divisions, making it fun and inviting for a wide range of players and skill levels. If you're looking to develop your game, why not try and play in one of the many weekly leagues from cricket to long format 501? You're going to grow as a player and have fun doing it. So if you're serious about darts, stop by 𝗬𝗏 Taproom as soon as you can. Say hi to Todd and Doreen and the rest of the staff. They'll be sure to take good care of you. 𝗬𝗏 Taproom, 70 James Street in Worcester. See you there.